Continuing from the previous episode 1355. It's good to come. The evil man's voice just fell, and the ghost white puppet palm slapped heavily on the place where Xiao Yan was. At that time, a faint blue energy beam suddenly appeared, and then blasted away at Xiao Yan. In the emptiness of the dark blue beam of light, a trace of cracks appeared, and even the violent sound of breaking wind continued to emerge halfway. Fire explosion technique. Xiao Yan's face was calm, then just as the faint blue light was about to hit him, a soft drink sounded, and a phantom of flames continued to remain around his body. Boom boom boom. The terrifying energy contained in the dark blue energy beam is enough to easily obliterate any 2-star Dou Xian level powerhouse, not to mention that Xiao Yan's strength is only a middle stage 2-star Dou Xian guy, so evil the men did not go to find out whether Xiao Yan was obliterated or not, so they shifted their targets to the women who came with Xiao Yan. These women have their own beauty. If they can be captured alive, they will definitely have a lot of fun. Just when the evil man had some evil thoughts in his heart, a fierce flame attack came out of thin air. Bang bang bang. The flame attack didn't block anything, it directly hit the evil man's body. Suddenly the evil man's body became mist, and directly under the flame attack of Xiao Yan, it turned into a dark blue light, which was obviously affected by the flames. A lot of damage. The explosive technique gave Xiao Yan lightning-like speed, which Xiao Yan did not expect. Bastard asterisk asterisk bastard. The evil man thought Xiao Yan's speed was actually faster than his puppet's attack, thus giving him such a tyrannical attack, and there was a trace of resentment in the dark blue light. Tell me, which clan do you belong to? The next moment, Xiao Yan's body was covered in fiery red flames, as holy as a flame elf. There was a terrifying flame on the ancient ruler of strange fire, and the tip of the ruler pointed directly at it. The faint cyan light group questioned, "How could you possibly know this? You must die." The evil man obviously didn't expect Xiao Yan to know so much. After being shocked, he also let out a roar. Since Xiao Yan knew so much about the extraterritorial evil clan, he definitely wouldn't anonymous. Crash! No, stop him! At the next moment, Xiao Yan walked in the air, but he did not expect the action of the faint cyan light, and immediately watched the faint cyan light swept towards the ghost white puppet, a bad thought. Emergence, shouting loudly. Late! Fusion! Suffered to death. At the next moment, the dark blue light poured directly into the ghost white puppet's body, and then the ghost white puppet seemed to come alive, with an indescribable spirituality in its pupils, and the blood-colored pupils only stared at with Xiao Yan. I can't wait to smash Xiao Yan's body into 10,000 pieces. Although it's a bit tricky, but there's no other way. The next moment, Xiao Yan shook his head slowly, obviously facing the real foreign evil race, although his current strength can defeat them, but if he wants serious damage in the true sense, it is impossible. In addition, Xiao Yan wanted to know some secrets about the Soul Palace, about sins, and even about their Xiao clan through the evil clan outside the territory, so now the only way is to use the power of Sheng Yan. What kind of power is that? After a while, the sisters of the Yu family and Lu Qing's 4 daughters were all staring at Xiao Yan, because at this moment, on Xiao Yan's palm, a prismatic crystal was emitting a heart-pounding horror wave. A khaki flame. It is as indestructible as a rock, and with the burning flame in the flame, it is the fire heart heavenly rock. How can it be? Holy flame. At this moment, the evil figure that had successfully integrated into the body of the ghost white puppet suddenly made an unbelievable voice. Holy flame. This is the nemesis of their alien race. In the Great Thousand Worlds, there are a total of 36 holy flames, and except for a few very special tyrannical alien races that require specific holy flame sanctions, holy flames have the power to obliterate their extraterritorial evil races at the middle and later levels. Not good. Run. The ghost white puppet also has no fighting spirit at this time. This Xiao Yan is actually the master of the holy flame. No matter what you say, you must pass this news to the ears of Lord Yuhan, otherwise, this time they have the plan of the Yuhan family. Will be wiped out by the appearance of a holy flame. I just want to run now. It's too late. Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and then on the palm of his hand, the khaki-colored Saint Flame crystal kept squirming, and a trace of khaki-colored liquid permeated out. With the appearance of traces of khaki-yellow liquid, the ghost white puppet immediately felt a destructive aura from the bottom of his heart. Holy flame space. Xiao Yan roared, and suddenly the space where everyone was, nearly thousands of square meters, was shrouded in Xiao Yan's holy flame space. Holy flame! This Xiao Yan is actually a human. Seeing Xiao Yan displaying such a method, the sisters of the Yu family couldn't help but be shocked. In the ghost world, it is all-encompassing, but the identity is the most taboo. 3 souls and 7 souls, or real human beings. But simply, the 4 women present were all human, but they entered the ghost world for their own special reasons, so they were not too surprised. Su, I didn't expect you to be a holy flame controller. In the holy flame space, circles of khaki flames continued to emerge. Link.com tilde is also weakening rapidly. Obviously, Sheng Yan's nemesis to the evil race outside the territory is far more severe than Xiao Yan thought. But if that's the case, you want to completely obliterate me. But it's not enough. The next moment, the ghost white puppet flashed a** aura, and then bursts of dazzling dark blue evil light burst out from the white bandages on his body. Its evil power is unparalleled. Obviously this guy is ready to use it. All out. Don't worry, I've been in control of Fireheart Tianyan for so long. Come out, Fireheart Heavenly Puppet. Xiao Yan was not surprised at all. Dazzling khaki yellow holy flames continued to emerge in the holy flame space, and then at a certain moment, a khaki yellow rock giant the size of the ghost white puppet suddenly appeared. Fireheart Puppet, this is the darling condensed by Xiao Yan using the power of holy flame. It is more like the product of holy flame. It is bathed in the holiness of the khaki flame, and the khaki rock body makes its defense indestructible. A living one rock giant. Ghost white puppet, attack! Seeing this scene, the evil man's heart also showed a heavy feeling. To be able to use the holy flame to such a degree, this Xiao Yan is definitely not easy. Huo Xintian Puppet, obliterate the evil. Xiao Yan's voice was filled with an ancient flavor, and as the voice fell, there seemed to be something hidden in the holy flame and the fire in the Huo Xintian Puppet. The innate spirituality burst forth. The fastest website for mobile version updates, M. Continuing from the previous episode 1356. Damn it. The evil figure hidden in the ghostly white puppet's body cursed when he noticed a holy flame on the khaki yellow flame rock giant that made the world fear him. At this time, they were already shrouded in Xiao Yan's holy flame space. If they wanted to escape, it was obviously impossible. Moreover, the power of this heavenly puppet composed of holy flames should not be underestimated. The suppression of the evil power of the alien race by the holy flame space, and the restraint of the power of the holy flame on the evil race outside the territory, the 2 kinds of suppression make the evil figure who is as tyrannical as the half-step 3-star fighting immortal level. Xiao Yan was tied. Ghost blood jumps. The next moment, the evil figure will not easily admit defeat. After all, he is one of the Yuhan clan, the capable general of Yuzin's men, and immediately roared viciously. As soon as the voice fell, white bandages fell off instantly on the ghost white puppet, and after falling off, a blood-colored bandage with a size of 100 meters was formed in the air. The blood-colored bandage was like a poisonous snake, exuding unparalleled evil power and ** smell, and the target of the attack was tightly locked on Xiao Yan. Yan! Seeing this, Xiao Yan smiled slightly, not too worried. At this time, he is standing in his own holy flame space, and the holy flame space is almost half of the realm. With the power of his own holy flame, it is not difficult to obliterate this guy. As soon as Xiao Yan's voice fell, in the countless voids in the holy flame space, pieces of khaki yellow rocks the size of a palm came out of nowhere. These rocks seem simple, but they have hidden mysteries, and they are faint but exude a tyrannical khaki yellow flame. Keep lingering. Go! Ghost White Puppet controlled his blood-colored bandage, raised his palm, and slapped Xiao Yan. Immediately, the blood-colored bandage seemed to be guided, and shot at Xiao Yan with a mighty thunder. Wang Om! Wherever he passed along the way, the holy flame space trembled. Tianyan, defense. Xiao Yan didn't worry too much, he spoke directly, the voice just fell, and suddenly countless khaki-colored rocks suddenly gathered towards him, and immediately formed a huge and countless 100-jong rock shield around him. Boom! The dazzling blood-colored bandage directly hit Xiao Yan's khaki-colored rock, but it didn't have any effect. Fireheart Puppet, the power of holy flame. After temporarily blocking the attack of the ghost white puppet, Xiaoyan was drinking, and the khaki rock giant beside him suddenly collapsed against the ground, and a deafening roar resounded through the holy flame space. Boom, boom, boom. At the next moment, on the khaki rock giant, his hands were gently raised, making a projection to the ghost white puppet. This human, the evil figure, couldn't help but wonder after seeing Xiaoyan stop his attack and the rock giant suddenly making a strange projection. But the next moment, the doubts of the evil man were also indifferent, and it turned into a shock. The power of holy flame. Xiaoyan snorted coldly, and suddenly a khaki-colored prismatic holy flame crystal appeared in the rock giant's hand. A smear of khaki yellow liquid emerged without reservation, and then whistled away at the ghost white puppet. Not good. Seeing this, the evil man couldn't help but let out a loud roar. The bandages kept emerging on the puppet's body for defense, but no matter how tyrannical the defense was, when the khaki liquid passed by, it was like a dam bursting, and in an instant fall apart. Boom, boom, boom. The khaki liquid carried the real source of holy flame, just eroded the ghost white puppet, and the ghost white puppet was instantly dissolved, turned into a colorless gas and disappeared, leaving only a dark blue evil light group. Now, let's see how you can deal with it. The power of the holy flame's suppression of the evil race outside the territory was beyond Xiaoyan's imagination. Originally, Xiaoyan thought that the power of the holy flame could only break the defense, but unexpectedly, it directly destroyed the ghost white puppet. Little chops, you must not die. After realizing that the power of holy flame had defeated his ghost white puppet, he surrounded himself in a circle, and an evil voice could not help but make a sound in the dark blue light. Don't worry, you can't run away, and I'm not ready to kill you. Seeing the evil light group with no way out, Xiaoyan smiled slightly, obviously wanting to get a lot of information from this guy. Xiaoyan, this guy's predecessor was the Ziguang gang. This force is extremely strange. Now that he is a foreign evil clan, I am afraid that this force has nothing to do with the foreign evil clan. Dou Xian asked slightly below. Well, the other three women shook their heads slightly when they heard the words. Obviously, they didn't know these things. However, there is one thing that makes Dou Xian extremely strange. She found that these three women seem to have an intimate relationship with Xiaoyan that is beyond friends. The token of reincarnation will stop this fluctuation, and even emit a sense of hatred and disgust for Xiaoyan. This is also the main reason why Duo Qifei is lukewarm towards Xiaoyan and keeps a distance, because this feeling is like an enemy or an enemy. This evil light gang is probably a branch of the foreign evil clan. Forget it. Wait until I ask about the specifics, Xiaoyan said softly, and then smiled. Ha ha ha, I wouldn't do anything to betray my race. Seemingly aware of Xiaoyan's thoughts, the evil light group couldn't help but let out a roar. It's up to you. Xiaoyan didn't intend to ask directly, but closed his eyes slightly. The spiritual palace in the soul realm within his body flashed, and the incomparably huge soul force kept squirming, and then, under the stunned gaze of the evil light group, it burst into flames. Into his body. How is it possible? The soul power of the fairyland level. No. Directly invaded by Xiaoyan's soul power, the evil light group emitted an extremely painful scream, but it didn't help. Illusory clan. The patriarch Yuhan is a 4-star Dou Xian perfection level powerhouse, good at using pupil technique. Yu Zun and Huan Zun are also in the ranks of the 4-star fighting immortals. I entered the Thunder Tomb this time. It seems to be preparing to take revenge on the Forge Sword Thunder Valley. After some exploration, Wei Wei obtained a lot of useful information, but when Xiaoyan probed deeper, he was met with the Lord of Soul Eater's restraint, because if he were to investigate the memory below, he would probably attract this ghostly powerhouse, so Xiaoyan had no choice but to give up. But the next moment, when everyone was discussing the Yuhan family, a rare spatial fluctuation suddenly appeared in the void in front of them. Above this spatial fluctuation, there is a tyrannical soul voice transmission. Looking at this familiar fluctuation, Xiaoyan seems to have seen it somewhere, but he can't remember it for a while. Continuing from the previous episode 1357. What is this? Xiaoyan couldn't help frowning at the strange wave that appeared out of thin air in his holy flame space. This is a voice transmission of the soul? This fluctuation seems to be caused by Yun Qi of the Alchemist Association. After a while, Dou Qian suddenly let out a coquettish cry, apparently seeing through the secret of this strange fluctuation. Open it and see? Xiao Yan nodded immediately after hearing the words, but said with a doubtful confidence. After all, this level of soul voice transmission is rarely used, and Yun Qi's soul power is even stronger than Xiao Yan's. She said this. What is the reason for a touch of soul transmission? Xiao Yan, I found the evil race from outside the territory. Come quickly. The dazzling soul force went away, and suddenly a line of dazzling big characters flashed in the space. How could it be? Could it be the adults and the others who did it? Or did those puppets do it? Seeing this, the evil figure who was bound to the death by the khaki rock giant couldn't help but speak. What's going on? Looking at the bright big characters in the sky, the four women below realized a sense of unease, and then a bad omen emerged. This is a sound transmission of the soul. It seems that they must have encountered a tyrannical foreign powerhouse. Let's rush over. Xiao Yan said solemnly, this Yun Qi is also a qualified opponent. It belongs to the Alchemist Association, so Xiao Yan naturally would not sit idly by. In the face of extraterritorial evil clan, the general attributes, unless the light element, there is no holy flame, it is extremely difficult to deal with extraterritorial evil clan. Extraterritorial evil races are really abhorrent. Looking at the sky, Xiao Yan frowned, and the girls also shook their heads slightly. Wong buzzing. This is a trace of Holy Flame's power, which is enough to keep you from being controlled by the ghost family. You must be careful in this trip, because this extraterritorial evil clan is extremely tyrannical. Xiao Yan slightly separated the khaki flame toward the four women's bodies. Go, this is relieved, otherwise, when they are dealing with the powerful foreigners, if something happens to them, they will be enemies on both sides. Yes. The four women heard the words and knew the seriousness of the matter, and immediately nodded their heads. What about this guy? Dou Xian pointed at the evil figure in the sky and said. Qifei, combine our strengths to obliterate him. Xiao Yan said slightly, okay. Duo Qifei heard the words without any hesitation, a flash of silver thunder flashed between her eyebrows, and then with a dazzling attack, she directly attacked the evil man. The reincarnation, how is that possible? The man imprisoned by Sheng Yan could not escape death, but Sheng Yan wanted to obliterate him in an instant, which was naturally unrealistic, but now with the help of the Thunder Lord's reincarnation token, in union Xiao Yan's holy flame power, this evil man was instantly wiped out by the power of the two. Let's go! After doing all this, Xiao Yan put away the holy flame space, and then took a few people with him, and the speed skyrocketed, and went to the place where Yun Qi called for help. At the same time, where Yun Qi and the others were, there were scenes of shocking scenes. Senior sister, what are we doing now? In a dark cave, this place is underground. There are countless poisonous insects in it. The environment is dark and humid, but fortunately it is extremely hidden. At this time, there are 4 or 5 figures in the cave. He moved anxiously. Cough cough. Yun Qi was at the front, but at this time, she was extremely weak and barely stood up. Then she looked at the few classmates present and couldn't help but say ashamed. I'm sorry everyone. A cry slowly appeared in the cave, making the already quiet cave a bit desolate. Senior sister, don't blame yourself, it's not your fault either. No one would have thought that this Thunder Tomb would be mixed with evil races from outside the territory, and the Thunder Card has failed. We can't leave the Thunder Tomb by crushing the Thunder Card. Hua Fei on the side was severely injured and his breath was extremely sluggish. This time, it's very strange, this foreign evil race seems to have the power to deceive people, and after being deceived by them, it seems that the power has increased a lot. Another fellow from the Alchemist Association said. During their trip, a total of 10 people from the Alchemist Association entered the Thunder Tomb together. The strength of the 10 people was around the late stage of the 2 Star Dou Xian. However, when approaching the second floor of the Thunder Tomb, he encountered a man in green robe. The green-robed man just saw them, and he immediately attacked them as if he saw delicious food. The strange aura on the green-robed man that was incompatible with Lei Tomb made them discover his true identity. His strength has reached the level of the early stage of Samsung Fighting Immortals, and even beside him, there are many contestants in this competition, as if he has lost his intelligence and let him control it. Those contestants followed their horses, as if they were being controlled. Among them, there were many disciples of some tyrannical forces, such as the Bloodclothes sect, among their 8 major forces. They were also controlled by them, so when they just met, they launched a crazy attack on the 10 of them. After they barely resisted for a round, the difference between their strength and the number of people was too huge, so they began to avoid it. Fortunately, Yun Qi and Xiaoyan fought, and through their soul power, they found that Xiaoyan seemed to have a tyrannical aura similar to Shengyan. In addition, Yun Qi is quite sensitive to Xiaoyan's soul power, so he can easily convey his soul voice to Xiaoyan. I hope Xiaoyan and the others can hurry up. Otherwise, this trip to the Thunder Tomb may really become the largest trip to the tomb in Dongzhou for thousands of years. Yun Qi said with a pale face. In the previous battle, Yun Qi and Hua Fei fought with the green-robed man in order to cover the retreat of their fellow alchemists from the Alchemist Association. They were seriously injured by him, and those evil forces, with their current strength, could not be driven out, so they were like poisonous insects. With the passage of time, they continued to eat away their power, so now the breath is sluggish. If the evil power of this alien race is not expelled and stays in the body for a long time, I am afraid that they will also become accomplices of the alien race. Hey, the game of cat and mouse, it's time to end. After I take you back, the adults should be very happy. The next moment, a loud bang sounded above the hidden cave, and a gap was blown out at the top of the cave. When everyone heard the words, they slowly raised their heads, but saw several very familiar figures. Blood Crystal? Mu Xiao? Even they are under control. Yun Qi looked at the two figures above the cave as before, but at this time their pupils were filled with milky white, and there was a violent asterisk blood all over their bodies. Gas. This is troublesome. Forcibly resisting the erosion of the evil aura in his body, Hua Fei frowned and said solemnly. It seems that this time, it is impossible not to work hard. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 1358. Damn it. Looking at the blood crystal and Mu Xiao above the cave, a strong pharmacist association who was hiding in the cave below couldn't help roaring. The breath of the two of them was originally only about the late 2-star fighting fairy, but now it has vaguely reached the level of a half-step 3-star fighting fairy. It seems that after this foreign powerhouse controlled them, what tricks did they use to make them stronger? It has skyrocketed a bit, although this may leave some sequelae. Senior sister, I'll try my best to stop them for a while. You can leave quickly with your classmates. At this time, Hua Fei protected Yun Qi in front of him, looking like a man did something he didn't expect. No, 2 half-step 3-star fighting immortal powerhouses, and they also have the power of extraterritorial evil clan blessings on them. If you continue like this, you will die. Everyone here is from the same sect of our Alchemist Association. I am the only one with the strongest strength. Naturally, I have to do this kind of thing that cuts the way. On Yun Qi's pretty face, a rare decision emerged, and he refused directly. Hee, senior sister, don't argue with me, otherwise, none of us will be able to run away. Your current strength and soul strength are the hope of our Alchemist Association. If I am unfortunately killed, I also hope that senior sister will avenge me in the future. Hua Fei grinned, without any fear of death, because his in their hearts, Yun Qi is already the hope of their Alchemist Association, so even if they die in battle, they cannot let Yun Qi suffer any loss. That's right, senior sister, hurry up and leave. We accompany senior brother Hua Fei to resist these guys, and we should be able to stop them for a while. The next moment, the remaining members of the Alchemist Association also stood side by side with Hua Fei, and then laughed, their voices filled with a calm look. They know that Yun Qi's talent and strength will definitely be limitless in the future, so whether it is for Dongzhou or the Alchemist Association, they must protect Yun Qi. You guys. At this time, Yun Qi was surprisingly quiet, with a rare smile on the corner of her mouth. She has always been a legend in the Alchemist Association. Because of her high position, she rarely interacts with the disciples in the association, but faced with such a life and death juncture now, these fellow students could put life and death aside for the sake of her who had never met, making her feel touched. Hey, Tuo Ji Yu. Don't worry, none of you can escape. Such a beautiful person with such tyrannical soul power. When I capture you, you must enjoy yourself. The next moment, at the gap in the cave, a man bathed in green robes let out an evil sound. Breath of power. Mu Xiao, blood crystal. Kill them for me. Remember, capture Yun Qi alive. The green-robed man smiled slowly and said to the 2 walking corpses around him who were like killing machines. Yes! Mu Xiao and Shui Jing heard the words, looked at each other, a strong smell of blood flickered in their pupils, and then the figures exploded towards the bottom. Sorry, I'm your senior sister, so I don't want your protection. The next moment, watching the two demonized powerhouses unleash terrifying attacks, Yun Qi tilted his head and smiled at Hua Fei and the others. The voice was full of relief and pride, and a dazzling soul force immediately enveloped them, and then a jade hand patted, the soul force moved rapidly, and the next moment, it was hundreds of meters away from the cave. Distance. No, senior sister. Instantly shocked by Yun Qi's actions, everyone's pupils were filled with a *** taste of desperate efforts, and even a sourness slowly emerged from the tip of the nose, but let them struggle. In Yun Qi's tyrannical soul power under the protection, it can't change any situation, and then it is rapidly moving away from here. Asshole. The soul power of the guys in the Alchemist Association is a great supplement. Master Huan Zun personally explained that you actually let them go. Looking at the few people who were instantly away, a wave of anger spread from the man in green robe. Huan Zun, it seems that he is still a powerhouse with a high status among the evil tribes outside the realm. Yun Qi had just displayed extremely dazzling soul power. The breath began to become disordered, and a trace of evil force kept trying to erode her internal organs. Yun Qi, now that you are dying, I will give you two paths. Looking at Yun Qi, who was dying below, the green-robed man stood tall and opened his mouth slightly. He knew that to deal with such a proud man, unilateral defeat would be impossible. Not the most comfortable, but to completely destroy her beliefs. 1. Submit to our foreign evil clan. With your current talent and strength, you can obtain very good resources by submitting to us. In the future, your strength will be tyrannical and help our foreign evil clan to destroy the world. At this time, the green robe was like a terrifying king who plays with human life and death at will. What else? On Yun Qi's pretty face, there was a touch of determination, but he was not touched by the man's words, and stared at the green-robed man the next moment. The second is to completely fall here. The green-robed man knew that Yun Qi would not submit to them, but he still said, HMPH, the evil races in the area also want to infiltrate our great thousand world? It's just a fool's dream. I choose the third one. At the next moment, on Yun Qi's body, a dazzling giant shadow of nothingness slowly emerged. A fire-type little heavenly seed. But this won't change the situation of your fall. The two of you, kill her. Looking at Yun Qi's body, an orange flame slowly emerged, and the green-robed man laughed. The orange flame is a kind of small fire-type heavenly seed, and the power of ordinary flames is average, but the fire attribute under the bright blessing of the heavenly seed is greatly enhanced. Blood Soul Hand, Mu Tung Ji. The next moment, Mu Xiao and Shui Jing looked at each other. The dazzling wood attribute energy and a huge blood energy directly brewed a tyrannical attack in their hands. Little Orange, I'm sorry. This time, you may be implicated. Looking at the fatal blow that contained their own energy on Mu Xiao and Shui Jing, Yun Qi said with his hands slightly covering his chest. All things have spirituality, and the heavenly seed also has the same spirituality as the holy flame and has a name, but the heavenly seed is the product of the holy flame diluted 100 times and 1,000 times. Being called by Yun Qi like this, immediately at Yun Qi's chest, the orange flame center the size of a seed slowly appeared. Weng Om! The orange-yellow heavenly seed just appeared, and immediately sent out an extremely restless emotion towards the three people above. The flame power was also a good suppressor of the evil power of the alien race. Little Orange, let all your powers bloom. This time, mourning for justice. The next moment, Yun Qi didn't hesitate, he just held the small flame seed in both hands, and then he was bathed in orange flames, and even the trace of evil power on his body stopped spreading. Go! Go! At this time, Mu Xiao and Blood Crystal were completely under control, and regardless of what Yun Qi was doing, a ** palm print and a huge beam of energy containing the attributes of dazzling wood suddenly faced Yun Qi. Projected away. The power of heaven. The power of the soul. In the face of such a tyrannical attack, Yun Qi did not sit still. The fighting qi that could be mobilized in his body was already the power of his soul, which was instantly mobilized, forming an orange flame barrier and an invisible soul barrier around his delicate body. At this moment, in this cave, the ground is shaking, cracks are constantly emerging from the ground, and even the sky is filled with an extremely terrifying storm of destruction. Right now, here is like the end. First, set a small goal, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1359. It's a very strong attack, but it's a pity. I still can't escape the end of the fall today. By the way, I forgot to tell you that the ability of our race is to control the enemy. Controlling the enemy can enhance the strength of the controller in disguise, and enhance its own strength through killing. Now, you can die. Ha ha ha. Seeing that Yun Qi, who had used the fire element heavenly seed and soul power to the extreme, still couldn't resist the attacks of the two, the green-robed man burst into laughter. Damn, it's still too reluctant. A beautiful figure, like a spent flower, under the front and back of the two tyrannical attacks, the aura quickly wilted, and the figure slowly descended to the ground, and once Yun Qi's fighting chi was exhausted, even if he can't mobilize the little heavenly seed, or even the power of the soul can't be used, by that time, I am afraid that it will not be far from the fall. Xiao Yan, he's really a nasty guy. But I hope you can help everyone out of this predicament. After casting the last tyrannical defense, all his strength was exhausted immediately, the defenses around him collapsed, and his delicate body was exposed. In the air, death. Seeing this, Mu Xiao and Shui Crystal saw the attack in their hands constantly wriggling, and then increased their strength, and they were about to completely obliterate Yun Qi in an instant. It's over. The strongest of the younger generation in Dongzhou is nothing more than that. After the so-called pastoral song is killed, it will be the official revenge with the sword forging Thunder Valley. Looking at Yun Qi, who was about to wither like a spent flower, the man in the green robe slowly shook his head. Eldest sister of the Tangtang Alchemist Association, how can you give up if you give up? Am I right? Senior sister Yun Qi. The next moment, just as Mu Xiao and Shui Jing were about to hit Yun Qi, who was on the verge of dying, a hearty laughter suddenly reverberated throughout the space. Who is it? Get out of here. This roar actually made the green-robed man feel a strange sense of fear, and he couldn't help but glance around and said, "Bang bang bang." The next moment, the void in front of Yun Qi shook suddenly, and a figure bathed in khaki flames lightly patted the attacks of Mu Xiao and Blood Crystal, and suddenly two Dao attack, collapse. Xiao Yan. Yun Qi called out weakly, and then his body suddenly dropped, falling to the ground. Peeved. Seeing this, Xiao Yan hurriedly opened his hands and caught Yun Qi's delicate body, because the speed of the fall was extremely fast, and Xiao Yan had just dealt with the attack of Mu Xiao and the two, and his posture immediately became strange. Also due to gravity, Xiao Yan's palm touched the soft spot on top of the delicate body, rising and falling. Yun Qi, who was in a weak state, obviously became a little blurry. He was moved by Xiao Yan and couldn't help but let out a light hum. Oh, it hurts. Xiao Yan's eyes were locked on the figures in front of him. Naturally, he hadn't noticed this scene yet. The Saint Yan's heart in his chest suddenly felt a tingling pain. Give back some. You. What's wrong with you? Yun Qi obviously sensed something, and immediately his pale face was replaced by a blush. What an evil power. Xiao Yan tried to divert his attention, and the huge soul force found the evil power that was constantly eroding in Yun Qi's body, and said immediately, Wing Om. The power of the khaki holy flame, under Xiao Yan's control, poured directly into Yun Qi's body. Do not move. The injury in your body is too serious. I will use the power of holy flame to temporarily stabilize your injury. Xiao Yan said in a deep voice, Yun Qi's body has been eroded by the power of evil because he was seriously injured by the green-robed man. Motivated too much power, causing the spread of evil power to be extremely terrifying. Thank you, Yun Qi also said softly at this time, her beautiful eyes closed slightly, accepting the restoration of Emperor Xiao Yan's power. It seems that it was not unreasonable when he fought with Xiao Yan's soul and realized that Xiao Yan had strange energy in his body. Fortunately, I caught up. The next moment, the void in front of Xiao Yan and the two was squirming, and the figures of Duan Qifei and the girls slowly emerged. This guy is very strong, be careful. Seeing several people show up, Yun Qi's red lips exuded a worry. Let Yun Qi leave it to Wire, these two guys, Qifei and I, can hold off temporarily. The next moment, Lu Qing said directly. The man in the green robe, I'll leave it to you. Duo Chifei also nodded and agreed, obviously relying on the strength of their 3 daughters. There was still a lot of pressure to deal with the 2 demonized half-step 3-star fighting immortals. Okay. Xiao Yan heard the words, nodded lightly, and placed a barrier in Yun Qi's body with holy flame, so he handed it over to Yu Wei. Go! The next moment, without any hesitation, the figures of the 4 of them burst out in an instant. Mu Xiao, Blood Crystal. I didn't expect you to be controlled by your strength. The 3 daughters of Du Qifei wrapped the 2 in a triangle shape. Crash! Mu Xiao and Shui Jing naturally wouldn't be polite to the 3 girls. As soon as they made a move, the monstrous evil power suddenly spread, and the tyrannical attack was launched directly. I didn't expect to meet a holy flame controller here. It's really surprising. Xiao Yan and the man in the green robe were in midair, and they didn't do it right away. Although Xiao Yan's strength is weak, he has the presence of holy flame, so even a man in a green robe should respect Xiao Yan by 3 points. Don't worry, there will be something you can't even imagine in a while, right? The powerhouse of the ghost family. The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth twitched slightly, and a trace of majestic power continued to emerge. Since the bandaged man just killed is from the Yuhan family, the man in front of him is no exception, but the 2 have different strengths. I am afraid that the status of the man in front of him is more powerful than the bandaged man. Why do you know these things? Hearing Xiao Yan speak so loudly, the man in the green robe couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. Their clan was deeply hidden, and few strong people knew about it. You don't need to know, this time, you have to die. Xiao Yan snorted coldly, not preparing to talk nonsense with him. The dazzling khaki holy flames continued to emerge, and a strong oppression even made the green-robed man emerge. A trace of green evil vindictiveness appeared. Sacred flame is indeed the nemesis of our alien race, but don't think that you can do whatever you want with holy flame. Everything is born, and it has its own mutual restraint. Holy flame also has something it fears, but you don't know it. The green-robed man slowly let out a crazy smile, and the smile was full of heart-pounding fluctuations. Huan Zun's capable generals, Huan Tong, the initial strength of Samsung fighting immortal. Seeing the green circles of evil fighting spirit emerging from the green-robed man, Xiao Yan's mind suddenly appeared in the mind of the man in bandages. Memory. First set a small goal, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website.